This week on Goofing Off,
Clayton shows us the world of Captain Marvel.
Cameron gives us the scoop on Snoop Dogg.
All this and more on Goofing Off. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Goofing Off. I'm Becca Tyler.
And I'm Drew Brown.
Drew, do you ever get the feeling that you're being watched?
Well, Becca...
No, not that kind of watched. Like you're being stalked by someone ready to kidnap you and hide you in their apartment.
Becca, that's oddly specific. I can't say that I have. Have you?
Nope, but Kyle definitely has something to say about this up next on Animanga.
Hello anime and manga fans, I'm Kyle Glockner and welcome back to another episode of Animanga. If you remember our Halloween special from last semester, you might remember my review of Elfen Lied where I talked about how I don't think anime does horror very well. There's a lot of reasons behind this, and I touched on a couple of them in the review, but it would be way too much to cover all those reasons in depth with the time that I have. But last year, right around that time actually, there was one show that really caught my eye that made me start to rethink how anime does horror. So today, I'll be reviewing Happy Sugar Life.
感情がキラキラ今はキラキラあなただけが全てさこの甘い世界嘘になるようなそれ以外のことなんて消してしまう
Happy Sugar Life tells the story of Sato Matsuzaka, a high school girl who lives in her apartment with Shio Kobe, a young girl who initially appears to be Sato's younger sister or maybe a cousin. Very early on, we learn the twisted truth of the situation, that Sato has murdered the previous inhabitants of their apartment and has kidnapped Shio, keeping her in the apartment and not letting her go outside. This is one of those special shows that hooked me right from episode 1. From the get-go, I absolutely love the contrast between the cute and innocent appearance of Sato and Shio and the dark tone the show takes on. Part of my problem with horror in anime is that I feel like a lot of the times, shows have trouble hitting the right tone of the show to build tension, instill fear, and generally make you feel, well, afraid. At a first glance, you'd think Happy Sugar Life wouldn't be able to pull this off, but it's the contradictory aspects of it that make it terrifying. It manages to pull off a different type of horror than we'd normally expect, which is why I think this show does a very good job of the type of horror that I've come to believe anime does very well, which is psychological horror. For anyone who doesn't know, psychological horror refers to a subgenre of horror that relies on mental, emotional, and psychological states to unsettle or frighten its audience. Psychological horror is where I believe anime shines when it comes to horror, and I would love for more series to try to take advantage of the strengths the medium has with this particular subgenre. In regard to this show in particular, when I was watching this show, I felt genuinely uncomfortable, which is not something I can say about many other psychological horror series. Throughout each episode, I legitimately felt a knot in my stomach that made me unsure how to feel during certain events. To put it lightly, this show is f***ed up. The ending scene of episode 7 in particular left me with a wide-eyed stare at my TV that made me ask the question, did I enjoy what I just watched? And in a twisted sense, that's actually how I knew I was truly enjoying the show. As I said before, the point of psychological horror is to make you feel uncomfortable. Rather than spooking you with a jump scare or grossing you out with a grotesque murder, a psychological horror attacks your fears, those things that make your skin crawl, the thoughts that make you pick up your pace when you hear a sudden noise when you're walking. The goal of this subgenre is to make you feel the way that I felt, so I knew that it was a good show. Part of what helped this show succeed as a psychological horror, like I mentioned before, is the contrast between the cutesy art style and the darker moments of the show. But part of what helps play to that strength is the characters themselves, specifically Sato. We meet Sato as a normal high school girl who works at a cosplay cafe. Most of the time when she interacts with someone, she comes off as just that, a sweet, caring, everyday high school girl with an innocent charm that would rival most moe protagonists. During the very first episode, however, we start to see how she can change her personality at the drop of a hat. Her demeanor goes from fluffy and sweet to cold and ruthless, which tended to be visually noted by constricting her pupils. Part of why this is so terrifying is because we know from the first episode that Sato is capable of murder, and since we know how far she has gone and could go again, seeing her personality flip brings a sense of uncertainty and dread to each scene, and really just makes you wonder how it's gonna play out. In general, you never really have a chance to be certain how you feel about Sato morally, which is where my next point comes in. Happy Sugar Life does a great job of blurring the moral lines of sympathy. We learn throughout the show that Sato didn't exactly have a great childhood, which is what helped turn her into the person she is today. After learning everything there was to learn about Sato, including her past, her intentions, and her genuine feelings towards Shio, I gotta say that it was hard not to sympathize with her on a base level. Where this show really blurs those moral lines is when you factor in Sato's actions to meet her desired ends. Sato lies, she hurts people, she manipulates them, she even kills people that are too much of a threat to her. There is no question that what she does is wrong, but there's still that little part of me that really does feel for her and wants her to be happy. And whether you feel the same way or not is completely up to you. That's part of the beauty of this show. Your own feelings of sympathy towards any of the characters, whether it's Sato trying to find love and happiness, Shio looking for a place to belong, Asahi attempting to rebuild his home life, Taiyo overcoming his past trauma, or any of the other characters' goals is completely up to you and how you feel about the actions they take given their circumstances. Overall, Happy Sugar Life is a fantastic show that I recommend to anyone looking for a break from the monotony of carefree harems or lighthearted dramas. Definitely don't watch it if you're easily disturbed, as I personally know a couple people who were too disturbed to watch the entire show. Maybe that says something about me as a person? Probably doesn't mean anything. Happy Sugar Life was directed by Keizo Kusakawa and Nobuyushi Nagayama, written by Toko Machida, and animated by Studio Ezola, as their first and only show, I should add. The manga was written by Tomoyaki Kagesura. If you're looking for a fantastic show to make you question your moral standings, this show's the one for you. But that's all the time I have for today, so let me know what you think by tweeting me at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag Animanga. Until then, I'm Kyle Glockner, this has been Animanga.
甘くて痛くて飲み込めないほどの初めての気持ちにあなたの名前をつけ
Drew, Colin's gonna take a look at everyone's new favorite battle royale game today.
Wait, Becca, Colin already did Fortnite.
I said favorite battle royale game. Colin's gonna be taking a look at Apex Legends, up next.
Hey fellas, this is Colin and you're watching Magic Strawberry. The Battle Royale genre is pretty played out at this point if you ask me, but a newcomer has come along late in the season and has managed to startle the titan of the Battle Royale genre, that is Fortnite. Introducing faster traversal options, tighter shooting controls, and the ever so innovative ping system, Apex Legends, a Battle Royale set in the Titanfall universe, has been able to make a statement almost immediately out of the gate. Titanfall creators Respawn Entertainment has successfully managed to translate their Titan responsive shooting controls seamlessly into the Battle Royale genre. At launch, Apex Legends also allows us to pick between several different characters, except 2 of them who can be unlocked later, all of whom specialize in different things. First off, we have Bangalore, who is your typical soldier and specializes in taking out large numbers of other players. Then we have Bloodhound, who is the hunter of the group, who specializes in tracking other players down and has a passive playstyle. Then we have Gibraltar, who, because of past mistakes he's made in his life, has made it his responsibility to protect his team. Thus, he specializes in shields. Lifeline, who, because of her guilt of being in a family full of war profiteers, makes it her life mission to treat wounded teammates, so she's the medic. Then we have Pathfinder, an android that was booted up about 10 years ago, and he's been roaming the war-torn frontiers ever since to find his creator. He also serves as a sort of team medic, but his purpose is to help you traverse the map rather than heal. Next we have Wraith, who by listening to the voices in her head is able to jump in between dimensions to take out other players in a stealthy fashion. As far as the characters we have to unlock with the legend tokens, we have Caustic, who was once a scientist who worked for a pesticide gases manufacturer and now specializes in poison and gas type attacks. And lastly we have Mirage, who is kind of an obnoxious solid snake who uses cloaking and passive abilities. Just like Fortnite, we begin every match on a flying bus type thing before we leap off to a place on the map where there is plentiful loot, and we pick up weapons, armor, ammo, and other power-ups along the way. But one way Apex Legends is able to differ itself from Fortnite and other battle royales is its traversal system. Where Fortnite is mostly slower paced, Apex Legends is the exact opposite, giving us the ability to use zip lines, grappling hooks, and climbing and using balloons to get around. But the one thing that Apex Legends introduces that truly makes it stand from the rest of the pack is its ping system. In past battle royales in any online shooter, communicating with teammates without a mic was pretty much impossible. The ping system fixes this by allowing players to communicate without a map and allowing players to highlight points of interest, including where enemies are, where supplies are, and even useful weapons that your teammates can use. It would still be preferable and more helpful to use a mic when communicating, but the ping system incentivizes teamwork by simply making it more intuitive. The way every match works is that you are paired up with 2 other players to form one of 20 teams, who then hold a team deathmatch until one team's left. If one of your squad mates goes down, your banner is automatically highlighted to your teammates, who then have 90 seconds to trek to your mostly dead body to pick up your banner and take it to the nearest beacon to revive you. In my opinion, this is a pretty loaded revival system, but on the other hand, at least it allows for shorter matches overall. Plus, the revival process is incredibly difficult, considering it's almost impossible to do without the utmost team coordination. Unfortunately, just like other Battle Royales, Apex Legends does have microtransactions. This includes paying $20 just for other skins, as well as emotes and loot boxes. Though if you do buy loot boxes, you're at least guaranteed to never get a duplicate item, and the chances of you getting certain items are thankfully made transparent. All in all, for what it's going for, Apex Legends is a resounding success. With tight controls, fluid traversal options, convenient and responsive shooting mechanics, and relatively quick matches, all combined with an excellent aesthetic, Apex Legends has a legitimate chance of becoming the standard bearer for the genre. Unfortunately, since it is a battle royale and it has exactly one game mode, there isn't a whole lot of room as far as variety goes, and I feel it does get old fairly quickly. Therefore, I give Apex Legends a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching Magic Strawberry. Feel free to hit the like button down below, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on Twitter as ETV Goofing Off. See ya!
How did your spring break go, Becca?
It felt just as good as the break we're gonna take right now. We'll be right back.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
Becca, I heard you doing a Transformers cosplay, and I'm mad about it.
Is it because I used Kyle as a model instead of you?
No, Becca, it's because trucking is my territory.
You mean it was your territory? And I'm doing Bumblebee as a cosplay, not even Optimus Prime, so it doesn't really technically count as a truck at all.
Well, I think I'll be the judge of that. Let's check out Create Your Character for that Bumblebee cosplay, up next.
What's up, nerds? I'm Becca Tyler, and welcome back to another episode of Create Your Character. For this cosplay, I figured I'd stick with my roots and become a bee, but not just any bee. No, I'm talking about Bumblebee from the Transformers series. This cosplay took a lot to put together, so I figured I'd have a special guest help me out with it. But enough of my buzz. Autobots, let's roll out. I'm going to start off this episode with a large disclaimer. This cosplay was an absolute roller coaster that did not turn out well in the end, so this has been turned into a list on how not to cosplay. Please learn from my many mistakes. Step 1 to this list is to measure everything. I cannot stress this enough. This is why this is the first step. Make sure you at least do this one, if anything else. Even if you don't think you need to measure something, do it. Already measured something? Do it again. Or else you'll wind up with a giant pile of, well, this. One thing I did wrong during this crucial step was looking at pictures of inspiration on my phone and then blindly going from there. And when I did measure something, it was a very rough estimate using my own body, which isn't good because it will later be applied to Kyle, who was definitely not me. This has very much contributed to why Kyle turned into a sad pile of scrap metal instead of an actual car. Step 2. Make sure you have enough materials. When making this cosplay, I was very conscious of how much cardboard I would be needing, but completely underestimated how much spray paint I would be needing. At one point, I stopped spray painting all of the cardboard, and I only painted the parts that would be seen on the camera. And I still ended up running out. So make sure you take into account how much you need and then add some. Because nothing feels worse than making various trips to your local craft store and having the same lady ring up your stuff as you try not to make eye contact with her because now she knows you're terrible at planning things. Step 3. Allow space for mental breakdowns. You aren't a real cosplayer if you haven't experienced at least one moment of almost giving up mid-project. Step 4. Make sure all of your tools work. During this cosplay, I planned on hot gluing all of my pieces together, but for some unknown reason, the glue stick wasn't getting pushed in all the way by the hot glue gun, and the glue came oozing out of the back. I tried to paint on the glue with a paintbrush, but I failed doing that, so the giant clump of glue eventually jammed the glue gun and broke it. So yeah, make sure that all of your materials are in proper working order to prevent a catastrophe. However, even though this is a huge letdown, it does make a nice segue into step 5. So, step 5, The show must go on. In this situation, I needed to act fast to see how I was going to stick everything together to make a cohesive cosplay. As a cosplayer, it's really good to know how to MacGyver anything together to make your cosplay work. I decided to use black electrical tape, which got the job done, but in the end, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it looked terrible. But, it stuck everything together. However, this shouldn't be the end goal. Never settle for good enough. Which also leads me to my next step. Step 6. Pay attention to detail. Really pay attention to how you're doing things, because people will notice the difference between a solid cosplay and a cosplay with cut corners. This is one thing that I definitely didn't do when creating this cosplay. This very much ties into how I didn't measure well, but I also didn't spray paint evenly, nor did the tape do the cosplay any justice. And the next for step 7, make sure you have fun. This is probably one of the most important ones behind making sure you measure everything. Cosplaying shouldn't be a chore, even if it is mentally exhausting sometimes. Step 8. Make sure you include all parts of your cosplay. Well, that's all the time I have for this episode. Thank you, Kyle, for being my mannequin for this look. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or want to suggest another cosplay for me to cover, don't be afraid to tweet me at ZTVGoofingOff with the hashtag #CreateYourCharacter. Remember, I'm Becca Tyler, and I'll catch you the next time around on Create Your Character. So, Drew, due to the recent movie coming out, Clayton is going to be talking about Captain Marvel this week.
Oh wow, does that mean I get to see Clayton dressed up as Captain Marvel?
For Goof's sake, I hope he does.
Well, hurry up, I want to see Clayton as a lady. It's Captain Marvel time.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Sit down, Mr. Anderson.
Comic therapy. Hello viewers, my name's Clayton Schrock, and today we're gonna finally learn what it takes to be a captain. Warning, I will be saying a lot of the word Marvel in this episode, so it may start to sound funny and lose meaning, like when you say the word spoon over and over. Now, if you went to see a movie anywhere from December 2018 to March 2019, and you showed up 30 minutes late, then you probably got there just in time for the trailers to start. And I'm sure at least one of those trailers were for the Captain Marvel movie. But chances are, there were actually 2 Captain Marvel trailers that played for 2 different movies releasing within weeks of each other. One for Marvel and one for DC. How can this be, some of you may be asking? What are the differences? Others may be wondering. Dude, it's not that weird of a fact, and most people already know the whole Captain Marvel comic book dilemma between DC and Marvel. You're just stretching this bit out for time, get to the facts and weird questions already. The majority of you are probably yelling. And let me just say, I hear the first 2 of you loud and clear. Captain Marvel, more commonly known today as Shazam, was first created in 1939 by Fawcett Comics. He first appeared in Wiz Comics #2 as a young boy, Billy Batson. Upon shouting the name Shazam, Billy would be turned into an adult superhero. Shazam's powers are actually in his name. Shazam is an acronym for Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury, all historic religious figures that each grant him some of his powers. Captain Marvel actually outsold Superman comics for a while until DC Comics sued Fawcett Publications, saying Captain Marvel was too similar to Superman. This would be the first of several legal issues around the Captain Marvel name. It was appealed that Captain Marvel was not an infringement of copyright, but with drastic decrease in sales, Fawcett would end up canceling the Captain Marvel comics anyways. DC would later license the character in 1972 and revive his publication. Now, to some of you Marvel movie normies out there, I've been saying Captain Marvel, he, and DC this whole time, and has you all twisted and mistered. And you know you just saw an amazing female lead superhero from Marvel, their first female lead movie. Wait, it's been how long and this is their first female lead? Anyways, it's here, you saw it and you liked it, or at least you thought it was pretty neat. How is she Captain Marvel at the same time as this bozo of a kid? Well, as you could probably guess, a company named Marvel would prefer that the character named Captain Marvel would belong to them and not someone else. So, when Fawcett stopped publications of the character, Marvel trademarked the name Captain Marvel. This all leads to DC using the name Shazam when they later licensed Fawcett character, plus people remembered him more as Shazam than Captain Marvel anyways. Marvel Comics would need to publish a series or one-shot comic for Captain Marvel at least once every 2 years to retain their trademark. Needless to say, Marvel didn't really care about the character, they just needed the name. Mar-Vell was the first character to use as Captain title and follows a typical storyline of an alien that visits Earth and so on. The next Captain Marvel character Marvel made was a lieutenant named Monica who was given powers to transform herself into energy. Fast forward 5 more random wacky characters that Marvel threw into a book to maintain their trademark, and we get Carol Danvers. an actually good character known as Miss Marvel who would take the place of Captain Marvel. This is the character we see in the recently released Captain Marvel movie by the MCU. Alright, if you're still paying attention and you're trying to follow along, Captain Marvel is a pretty weird character with an unusual background. So, to help you not feel alone and teach you some useless facts about the character, let's have a pop quiz challenge.
Not very much.
I wouldn't say a lot.
Alright, the answer was Shazam. That's 1 point, Matt Reed.
Yes.
You're both wrong. The answer was Shazam.
All these answers are Shazam. Every single one.
Yeah, you guys are both right. It was Captain Marvel. She was supposed to show up in Jessica Jones.
Whoa.
Oh.
And you're both wrong. It was Captain Marvel. You were both right. It was Shazam. 1, 2, 3.
Just got me near me.
Alright. The answer was Captain Marvel.
Well, I just had to go the opposite.
I know.
I had to go the opposite. I lost
You
it.
looked at my thing immediately. You were like,
No, I had to.
wait a minute.
I get what you're doing, Caleb.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you lost. To see their punishment, be sure to watch this episode's face-off, where they'll have to partake in this week's food punishment. So, how well did you do in those questions? Do you think DC or Marvel has a better Captain Marvel? How many times did I say the word Marvel this episode? You can let me know all of this and what character you want me to cover next time by tweeting at ZTVGoofingOff using the hashtag ComicTherapy. My name's Clayton Schrock, and I'll see you next time, viewers. Spoon, spoon, spoon. Yeah, it does sound weird.
Okay, but seriously, what did you do over your spring break?
I like to keep you on your toes, Drew. Maybe I'll tell you what happened over my spring break after this break.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
Have you heard of my 3 steps to cooking?
Drew, I think cooking requires more than 3 steps, especially if it's a more complex dish that requires many ingredients and a complex array of herbs and spices.
The steps are cook, serve, delicious.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's also the game you're playing tonight, isn't it?
Yep, and it's coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. We are on the 4th episode of Drew's Cooking, and I figured for this episode we should go back to our basics. I have picked a game that reviews the first 3 basic fundamentals of cooking. Cooking at its core. It is cook, serve, delicious. First step being cook, second step being serve, third step being delicious, as the customer will review. So I think we're just gonna get right into it. There's 6 save slots, so that can tell you something about how the game is. Welcome to Sarasota Tower. The historical building was once home to the luxurious Cook Serve Delicious, the 3 Steps restaurant, but has since been in disrepair along with the rest of the tower. However, the recent economy boom has filled this tower to capacity, and the owners of the tower would like to reopen the Cook Serve Delicious restaurant and put you at the helm. They ain't going wrong with a professional like me. You'll need to take this now 0-star cafe and turn it into a 5-star world-class restaurant. So first, we'll learn the basics very quickly, but before we can do that, we need to see how much you're willing to handle. All right. So basically, they took like a really good restaurant. It died, and it's now at 0 stars. But I'm going to bring it back to 5 stars because I'm Drew, and this is Drew's Cooking. And I know the 3 basic fundamentals of cooking. That is, cook, serve, delicious, the title of the game, and the restaurant. So let's start cooking. I'd also like to point out that this soundtrack is bopping. I'm enjoying it very much. Choose difficulty level. The standard difficulty is the norm of Cook Serve Delicious, which can prove to be very difficult for many users. But over time, you will gain a great understanding in cooking food perfectly. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm gonna stick with the standard difficulty. This game has also advertised itself as a hardcore cooking game, so I think I picked one that I figured would be my skill level. Let's get right into it. Let's see what's up. This restaurant looks like a dungeon. This is your main restaurant serving area, but it doesn't look the best. You don't say. It's got a nice view, I guess. Looks like a nice watercolor painting. Doesn't look the best, but hey, you'll fix it up in no time. You can press the bottom right mouse button to hit escape, pause the game at any time. Oh no! This is a custom. That dude doesn't look so hot. Mario, you all right, buddy? Man, Mario's had a rough day. This is a customer ticket. Press the number on your keyboard. In this case, 1 to start the order. 1. The yellow dog. Just mustard, please. So hit M for mustard. Great job. There are 3 different types of satisfaction levels. Perfect orders, no mistakes. Customer is happy and will come back. Average orders, customer isn't happy, mistakes were made, might not come back. That sounds pretty rough. In bad orders, customer is angry, doesn't pay, lots of mistakes made, won't come back. Strive for those perfect orders. I think I will, because it sounds like if I don't get a perfect order, the customer is mad. This burger requires you to cook the meat before preparing the food. Click or use the keyboard to call up the order to begin. 1. Looks like you only need 1 meat patty for this order. Place 1 patty on the grill, and then press enter to start cooking. Meat. All right. What do I do now? So the original is our signature burger. It is the original, a very original name, I like to say. It looks kind of like a penny on a giant penny on a hamburger bun, with meat, lettuce, bacon, cheese, and tomatoes. That's an MLBCT for those in the food industry. Slap that bun on the top, the sesame seeds, and we are good to go. We have completed a more advanced order. This is your main managing menu. I like that alliteration. From here, you can control the food menu, buy new items, and a whole lot more. Oh no, it's like I have to buy stuff like in the coffee game. You'll work from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Wow. Pulling those like 11-hour days. 12-hour, 13-hour days at the restaurant. Then between each day, you'll come back to this menu to plan your business. Wow, 13 hours a day at the restaurant. I'm gonna buy the delicious looking pretzel. Easy food to make, made day, afternoon pick-me-up, catering. Munchies, generally considered a snack food, not to be ordered during rush hours. Oh, it's not ordered during rush hours, okay. Menu rot, will decline in popularity each day on the active menu. So these are like buffs and like, nerfs. Unappreciated, customers never tip with this food. What kind of customers am I bringing in? This food is never ordered in restaurants classified as 2-star or higher. So I should rep the pretzel right now before I become the 5-star glory house that is Drew's Cookin' or Cook Serve Delicious, rather. Burger, fried chicken, and how about what does this mean? I think the green means good, so I'm putting the potatoes on. Oh, that's the ice cream. Putting the ice cream on the menu for a nice dessert after you eat your burger and fried chicken. Let's go. Let's see what I can do here. The sun is rising. Begin. Okay. All right, 1. So she just wants a nice drink. Medium cola with ice, please. Medium cola with ice. Pour drink. Oh, with ice. With ice. Okay, 2. Medium cola with no ice, please. So, medium cola pour. No, that's tea! Oh, no, that's tea! No. No! Sorry, sir. Oh, no, he wasn't happy with that. One fried chicken order, please. Okay. I think that's good. Hey, you liked it! Okay, 3. 2 vanilla VV with cherry, please. H is cherry. Okay, serve. This is intense. Okay, 1. This guy just wants a meat patty. Rush hour. 1 scoop of vanilla and chocolate, please. Okay. 3. The restroom needs attention. Flush. Sanitize. 4. 1 fried chicken. Oh man, this is intense. Okay, small tea with ice. Okay. Oh no, burger. Oh, I just gave him a patty in between the bun. Meat, lettuce, cheese, bacon, and tomatoes. 3. 2 meat patties. Okay, cook. Flush, sanitize. 4. Whoo! All right. This is really hard to talk over. 1 meat patty. Boom, bam. Cook. 2. Clean the toilet. Sanitize. Boom. All right, so how are you guys doing? Meat only. You want a piece of meat between a bun? 2 chocolate scoops with sprinkles. Chocolate. Pea sprinkle. Served. Okay, ice cream. 2 vanilla scoops of cherry, please. Vanilla. Cherry is H. Served. Kramer walked in and he wants a fried chicken. Fried chicken. I burned the chicken. This is hard, but it's really satisfying to play, I guess. If that gives me anything. 2. I didn't do any. I don't know what I did there. I just gave her an empty bowl. Meat, double bacon, and cheese. Ooh. 2 meat patties. It's like I'm playing a beautiful, beautiful song. All right, let's see how I did. Customer served, 44 orders of the day. Perfect. I got 23 perfects, 8 averages, and 13 bad orders. Did 7 out of my 10 chores. I didn't earn any tips. I made 1 crumb, and my highest combo was 3. I earned 149 fun bucks, 11% positive buzz, and 6.5% negative buzz. That's more positive than negative, so I'm gonna take it. Toilets flushed, 7. Rats trapped, 0. Dishes washed, 6. Threw a lot of garbage away, and justice dispensed. I'm putting myself through too much right now. I can't dispense. I don't have time to dispense justice. I really like this whole keyboard thing. It might be a little easier for me to play with the mouse, but I like the satisfying feel you get. What is this? Oh, my emails. I should probably check that. I can upgrade my fried chicken. That sounds amazing. Nothing wrong with upgrading fried chicken. Forward, are you frustrated? I'm a little, I'm not frustrated, I would say. I'm just a little high-strung. New anti-frust from GML. Watch it instantly take your frustration away. See how it effortlessly glides your worries away and takes you to a piece of pure serenity. Order now to receive a discount up to 25%. Thank you, Anna Wu. Note that 25% discount only applies for orders of $1,000. Woo! Okay. That's a lot of money. I don't got that. What is Battle Kitchen? Oh yeah, we can do face-off for this. There's a multiplayer mode. Interesting. All right. What is simply... Look at all those unlockable... Shovel Knight! He's here! What? Shovel Knight? These are games that I don't know what they are, but that's cool. Someone from Super Hot's in this. Oh, farther than light. I can't read that. Lethal League. Oh, Lethal League's great. Cactus. Cuphead. Cuphead himself has graced the presence. Dust. Oh, that's a good game. Gang Beasts. Ghost Song. Hotline Miami. Joe Danger. Oh, man. This is awesome. Nidhogg. That looks like the Nidhogg himself. We played that on Face Off one time. What? Let's start a new day. Let's get back to the cooking and the serving. Okay. Let's try with the mouse for a little while. Okay, so large cola with... Okay, I don't know how to use it. So large cola with no ice, please. We already have trash. Boom, you see that? Mashing those keys. One meat patty. I probably said 1 meat and patty a lot during this episode, but it's all for the cooking. All right, I'm getting tense, boys. I'm getting tense. But we're getting there. I went from like $65 to $585. So small water with ice. Look at my happy faces. You don't see that in not Drew's cooking. Lady in tracksuit wants a medium cola with no ice. Is this an esport? I don't know. It said it was an esport mode, so I'm gonna assume it is. There's no one here that will be able to tell me if it's an esport or not. I feel like I'm in like a heightened state of mind right now. Like, if I wasn't trying to make myself entertaining during this, which I'm probably not doing a very good job at, I probably would be like, what did I do? That guy wasn't happy. I probably would be like completely silent, like for 3 days straight, just doing this. Because this is amazing. And like, if I were to actually get to the 5 stars, that would take like days. So I will definitely not be able to do that tonight. But in time, on my personal time, I will totally, of course, get to the highest rank and maybe become even a 6-star restaurant. I think. That guy's playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, guys. The classic version. Not the new version. Anyway, today I've served 47 customers, 37 perfects, of course, 3 averages and 7 bads. They just didn't know what they wanted and I knew for them, so I served them it. And they, of course, didn't like it for some reason and just left the restaurant. But, you know, it's fine. All 10 of my chores are completed, so Mom gave me my allowance. It's all done. $0 earned in tips. You know, some days the customers are just feeling kind of, you know, frugal. It's day before payday probably for most people. They just don't want to tip. 0 crumbs were made, so a very clean place today. 7-time combo. $196 were made. 18% positive buzz, 3% negative buzz. That's a good ratio. 9 toilets were flushed, 0 rats were trapped, 0 dishes were washed, 5 garbage was thrown, no justice was dispensed, and a partridge in a pear tree, folks. Whew. I've only completed 5 out of the 20 days it takes to become a 2-star restaurant. Man, I just don't think I'm going to have the time to do that tonight. Maybe on my own personal time I will complete this, but definitely not tonight. Just not enough time. I'd be playing for like 12 hours straight. That's like half a live stream. And I don't think we can do that tonight. But yeah, I really would highly recommend this game. It's really fun. It's really hard and really intense. It's on Steam. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it wasn't much. But anyway, if you have any other games you want to hear me or see me play here on Drew's Cookin', tweet me at ZTV Goofing Off with the hashtag Drew's Cookin', of course. Whew, until next time, I'm Drew. I'm going to go take probably a little nap before I have to start a new day and serve customers that delicious ice cream, cheeseburger, fried chicken, well, you name it. I'll see you next time, folks. Are you ready to tell me?
No.
Well, all right. Here's another break.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
Hey Drew, did you know Snoop Dogg is creating his own esports league?
Wait, he is? My prayers have been answered!
Yep, and Cameron's talking all about it up next on Esports Unzipped.
Hello everyone and welcome to Esports Unzipped, your hub for all things esports. My name's Cameron Blanton and today I'll be talking about how our teams did in their competitions, some play-by-plays on some spectacular moves on both sides of the fight, and a new esports league. So to start, on March 2nd, our gold Overwatch team faced the Ohio State University and lost 3-1. On the 3rd, our gold Rocket League team won against the Ohio State University 4-3. On the 4th, our gold Hearthstone team faced off against Shawnee University and won 3-0. On March 5th, our blue Hearthstone team beat Grinnell College 3-2.
On the 9th, our blue League of Legends team lost to Northern Illinois Gold 1-0. On the 11th, our gold Hearthstone team lost to Ashland University 3-2. On the 16th, our blue Rocket League team lost 3-1 to DePaul University, and our gold League of Legends team lost to Columbiana College 3-0. So from now on, I'm just going to stop making predictions, because if I say we are going to do really well, we do bad. And if I say we're going to go downhill, we go undefeated. So from now on, I'm just going to keep my lips sealed on what I think will happen. But for now, I'm going to do something a little different. I think the people who compete in esports events have incredible skills and talents. And if I'm being honest, these scores really don't show that. They're basically just numbers and don't really show much of anything. So I decided to do a play-by-play to really show the talents of not only our players, but the opposing teams as well. So let's get to those highlights. As we can see here, the Akron Rocket League team is trying to set up for a goal, but is intercepted by Nebraska University. But with Buzz in the midfield, he's going to set up a shot for Reticence, using his boost to ride the wall above the goal, and then drop down to tap the ball so it will fall straight down, allowing Buzz to come flying in and score the final goal. Next, we see a similar play with Buzz playing keep away from Illinois in the Northern Conference Championship, hitting the ball so Illinois just misses it, then riding the wall to line up the shot for Reticence to knock it in, getting the first score in the first match. In round 2, Buzz goes on the aggression and scores within the first 6 seconds of the game, using the pass up from Salt to line up his shot. Then in the last 30 seconds of the game, Akron was able to score twice within 9 seconds, securing their win over Illinois and taking the Northern Conference Championship. Next up is our Hearthstone team versus Ashland University. Akron's playing a Q block deck versus combo priest, and are currently set up to be taken down by the combo, or even the creatures on board. They decided to take a play that will statistically save them. They have one Void Lord in hand and have another one in the deck, as well as a Doom Guard in deck. By killing the Possessed Lackey with their own hero power, either demon will save them except to the Mind Blast combo, but it is their only option. The Doom Guard could take out Alexstrasza if they get unlucky, but luck is on their side as they pull the remaining Void Lord, giving their opponent a hefty wall to punch through, as well as going into fatigue. Ashland decides to hero power Akron's health and use Alexstrasza to take out most of the Void Lord's health. Then following up with a Mind Blast, the Pyro goes off, killing the Void Lord, but the Void Lord's Death Rattle does go off and bringing out 3 Void Walkers. Ashland then uses their refreshed hero power to ping Akron again, uses the Pyro to take out a Void Walker, and then summons a Scale Worm to rush into another Void Walker. Akron is able to top deck their Doom Guard and use the hero power to take out the Scale Worm and the last remaining Void Walker to trade into Alexstrasza. The Doom Guard then charges into Ashland University's health, and with their turn starts the fatigue damage. Ashland decides to get as much damage in as they can with the hero power, and Mind Blast to offset the life gain Akron gets with their hero power. Akron uses their turn to simply hero power to gain more life and to attack with their Doom Guard. Then Ashland plays a Primordial Drake and hero powers Akron to hopefully stop their attack and finish the game in the next turn. But Akron was able to top deck their Hellfire and bring them down to 2 health. Ending their turn and causing Ashland to die to fatigue. Even when our teams don't win, they still do a fantastic job and show their skills in every game. In other news, a new esports league has come to life. It's called Gangsta Gaming, and it's produced and run by the one and only Snoop Dogg. No, I'm not joking. He and his friends, Redwoods, Red Grant, JC, Triple Lock, Lala, Shelton, Waniac, and Young Sag will be battling for the title Top Dog. And that dog is spelled with 2 G's, because Snoop Dogg. The players will be competing in Madden NFL 19 for $11,000, and for an even bigger prize if they can beat Snoop at the game. So it seems like this esports league is just for celebrities, which is very interesting. Not sure why they chose Madden or why they chose to call it an esport, but maybe it'll become clear as time goes on. But what do you guys think? Did I capture your favorite moments in our esports competitions? Do you want to join the Gangsta League? Why don't you let me know by tweeting me at ZTVGoofingOff and be sure to use the hashtag esportsunzipped. Also, don't forget to tune into my talk show on 88.1 WZIP every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for even more esports talk. As always, I'm Karen Blenton. I'll see you guys next time.
Okay, Drew, are you ready to hear what I did over spring break?
Yes!
All right, I did absolutely nothing.
I'm done.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
Remember Gears of War?
Gears of what now?
Gears of War. It was a game on the X. I'll just let Matt explain it to you. Next on Double Take.
Hello everyone, my name is Matt Reed, and welcome back to another episode of Double Take, where I take a second look at games and movies to see if they're as good or as bad as everyone says they are. To start, I want to take you back to me as a wee lad of age 12, excited buying my first T-rated game with my parents to play on my new Xbox 360, Gears of War. I was excited from the moment I saw the first trailer, an emotional roller coaster within itself, and now finally I was able to secure the game for myself. Little did I know that I would be vested in a franchise that traveled into the next decade. The single-player playthroughs were some of my favorite, and it has one of the best co-op campaigns in history for me. I played all the games multiple times, even the poorly reviewed spin-off and all the DLC. So when I heard that another studio was making a fourth installment to the franchise, I was elated. And when I finally got a hold of Gears of War 4, I was honestly surprised with how bad it was. I have 1.5 million complaints with this game, but I think I'll just stick to the big ones for time's sake. I also want to apologize ahead of time, as I'll be making a lot of comparisons to the older games, so there might be a large amount of spoiling ahead. Now it's time to let me chainsaw this game right in half. Anyone? No? Okay. The game opens with a speech about remembering the past war that reshaped the world. The game takes place 20 or so years after the previous games. In the middle of this speech, there are cuts to flashbacks, the first starting with characters we recognize, but don't get to play as. All of their cool stuff is done off-screen, and I'm forced into playing a no-name, faceless gear that inevitably dies at the end of each scene, leaving me with not a care in the world of what happens to them. It was annoying to say the least. Next, we can get into the characters. In Gears of War 1, we are slowly introduced to the main characters throughout the first few missions of the game. It starts out with Marcus Phoenix and his best bud Dom, two friends who have been torn and scarred by war. It's immediate that these guys are not to be messed with, and you feel awesome playing as them. You follow the story, get introduced to Baird and Coltrane, a sarcastic yet technical genius, and an energetic gung-ho soldier that doesn't let a few hundred enemies stop him. You feel invested in these characters, and there's something for almost everyone in the squad. In Gears of War 4, we have Why Are You Even Here?, Store Brand Soldier, Nancy No Name, and the Golden Goose. I don't even know all their names. 9 hours of gameplay, and I don't know all their names. I know JD, but that's mostly because he was in the trailer. And of course, I know Marcus. I feel none of the same emotions towards these new characters. These guys show up a little later, which is also a nice surprise. I think I don't know the new characters because I stopped paying attention halfway through the prologue. These characters are all introduced at once, and they have no memorable interactions. They're in a cutscene, they're stealing some stuff, there's a butterfly scene that takes way too long, that no one cares about. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth overall. The sad part about this start is that the most memorable character is a comic relief drunk uncle, who's only in the game for around 20 minutes. That's just sad. All I cared about was getting back to an older Marcus, which is admittedly the best part of the game. He carries the cutscenes, which I don't really understand how one character can be so much better written than the rest of the entire game. Some of his cutscenes are still funny to poke fun at.
You could trick me with that fake emblem, didn't you?
The next part I can mention is the plot. Wait, what plot? I mean it when I say that I have no idea what's going on in this game. The plot is basically a ripoff of a generic concept. The enemies from last game are now mutated and they're kidnapping people and they're a hive and blah blah blah. They'll probably explain it in the next game, which is silly in its own right, to have a game that is so little for plot that we have to rely on a sequel for anything in the previous game to make sense. And that's assuming they try to tell a real story in the next game. I probably won't play it though. No Name is the main character. I'd play it if her uncle or mother were the main characters though. At least they're somewhat interesting. Last but not least, I'll get into the gameplay itself. Gears 4 takes on the same old combat system from Gears 1 through 3. And that's not a negative. They did mess up how the enemies interact with you in a big way though. There isn't a person who knows Gears of War and doesn't think of the famous chainsaw gun. You know how many enemies I cut down like this in the game? 3. Just 3. When you pull out the saw, everything staggers you now. Too much wind? Put it away. Shot one time? Put it away. Someone farts? Put it away. You hinder yourself too much not to just use a shotgun and tear through enemies left and right with this overpowered weapon. I purposely dropped the shotgun in almost every level, and within 10 minutes, I had one again. They're just too good and too prevalent. The other thing that annoyed the grub out of me was the level design. Too often was I sprinting through a level and would get caught on a ledge, or have too aggressive enemy AI with my back to a wall, or even zero cover whilst hiding from a turret. Some of the choices made no sense whatsoever. I will mention that the most fun I had in this entire playthrough is the chain level. The cover was constantly moving, forcing you through the level and ending you if you messed up a roll or a sprint. It was interesting, and if they incorporated it into the gameplay more, it might have been this game's savior. You could say that this level was off the chain. Anyone? No? Still nothing? Okay. Overall, I cannot recommend that you play this heaping pile of garbage. I'll be honest, I think I'm only 90% through this game, but I have absolutely no motivation to play through the rest. And I know what you're thinking, Matt Reed, if you've never finished the game, how can you review it? Well, I've seen the ending, and trust me, it does not help the game's case. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns on how to properly operate lumberjack guns, agree with me or disagree, make sure to tweet me at ZTVGoofingOff using the hashtag DoubleTake. My name is Matt Reed, and this has been Double Take.
Glad to see you back, Drew.
I'm not happy about it. I just wanted to give our viewers a proper farewell.
You know, that's fair. Well, everyone, that's all for this episode. Remember to give us a like on Facebook, give us a heart on Instagram, and follow us on YouTube for extra content, all at ZTVGoofingOff. Remember, I'm Becca Tyler.
And I'm Drew Brown, and thank you for taking the time to goof off with us. It's choo-choo time!
No, not that kind of watch. Like you're being stalked by someone ready to kidnap you and hide you in their apartment.
All right. Becca, you got mail.
Aw, you wrote me an email? That's so sweet.
No, I don't like you that much. I mean, you've got mail as in chainmail. Tyler's gonna be teaching us how to make chainmail up next on Crit Craft.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the... So, Drew, to the...
Yeah.
Drew, what are you doing?
I'm making theme music to introduce Drew's segment about video game soundtracks. Up next. Have you heard of the High Elves?
Glad to see you back, Drew.
I'm not happy about it. I just wanted to give our viewers a proper farewell.
You know, that's fair. Well, everyone, that's all I have for this episode. All I have. I'm doing my outro now.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV, make media, make a difference.